All right. Okay, brother, your question.
Ashante, brother, Coakley, for once again kicking game. Mr. Elders,
My name is Elder, no S.
whatever. The Almac civilization civilized America.
Hold on,
Just
hold
kick
on.
game.
Let's try not to be vicious.
I'm not. This is the way I speak.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. What is it about me or what is it about you that hate? Why do you hate yourself? I mean, all these statistics that you quote, those are European institutions. And all these Negroes you talk about, Diana Ross and Sidney Poitier, they sleeping with the enemy. So, I mean, and then you bring Irv Rubin. This is the individual that spied on every single African organization in the United States, sold those documents to South Africa. So how do you have audacity to sit up here and support white America? You should be happy that you're walking out here live. Because there are brothers that are tired of people selling out. And you better watch your back.
Do you respond?
I have a question for you, sir. Sir,
Brothers and sisters.
sir, I have a question for you. If you are so unhappy with what I've said, perhaps you should ask for your $15 back, because you misinvested your money.
Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Oh!
Hold on a second.
I don't-
The fact that we started late did not necessarily change the format. The format is consistent with what we agreed to in advance. Whether we start, no, what? No, okay, next question.
We made this
Yeah.
possible.
We're not going to even go there, brother. We're not going to even go there. The contractual obligation.
Okay, let's go.
Hold on.
Hey, listen up, Africans.
We paid the money.
Well, let's get on with the show then. Let's go. Money green, big money green. That's all. Listen up.
We're not going to disagree
Let's go.
that you paid the money. The program was formatted, and the program will run to its full conclusion. Now, if the debatants want to stay beyond that, that's their option if they want to leave beyond that. What we're trying to do is hold and get as many questions in as possible, yet fulfill their obligation. If they have to leave, they have to leave. So y'all going all sideways and all of that is not going to benefit everybody here.
Okay, next question.
We will take two more questions, and then the program will wrap.
Listen up, listen up, listen up. Especially in this industry where the width of it is extremely narrow. I appreciate the sister exercising the courage to speak against an industry that has historically sought to punish people who have been labeled as uncooperative and other failings suggested that they will not work because they do not act in a way that whites deem secure for their weak personalities. And I appreciate the sister's courage. On the concept of fact, here again, Larry, I think it would be very important in any other, I know on the radio you have the capability to talk people off of the air with that little button, and you don't really have to respond thoroughly to their questions. The sister statement represents a huge possibility of securing factual evidence. The brother who was the union man represents an important moment for securing factual evidence. There is a finite answer to these questions we're raising, and emotionally we cannot solve them in trying to assure ourselves that we have made white people comfortable on our night with blacks. So at some point we need to factually compile the statement. While I'm here, I'll be on the front page Tuesday. We're going to develop a formula before I leave here to make this emotional conclusion about Hollywood factual. And at that point, he has nowhere else to go with his statements or be considered a sucker perpetrator.
All right. Your question, brother.
Okay, my question is for both keynote speakers. Primarily, Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley, I took a time out to read about the Greek history along with the Romans. And I discovered that in the Greeks, as well as the Romans, they took the lower class people and gave them entertainment to lure them away from what's really going on in society. Now, when you look at that, look at today. You see a lot of black males in the entertainment industry. Hold on a second. My question is this. If you take look at history from 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, you will see that 1 of million black men in an entertainment industry is picked to be the lead actor. Why is that?
If your question is directed towards me, I just read you off a whole list of people who are
No,
quite
no, no, no.
successful in the field. And I just talked to you about how many blacks were members of the Screen Actors Guild. So I don't know what else you want me to say.
All right, brother.
Brother Elder, since we're here to talk about racism in Hollywood, let's talk about the 70s and your Superflies and your Shafts and your black exploitation movies. Let's talk about the 80s and your Menace to Society, your Colors, and so on and so forth. Let's fast forward to the 90s and let's talk about most recently Caught Up. Explain to me how you as a black man cannot feel that this, in addition to the news, is not racism in Hollywood. And Brother Coakley, you can talk about anything you want to, I'll listen.
Once again, the business is driven by what people perceive consumers to want. And if these movies are distasteful to you, don't go. If you don't go, they won't make them.
Thank you. One more question in?
Speaking of taste, and we'll come right to you, brother. When, and I believe we're close to over.
That was the last question.
That was the last question.
One more. That was the last
Well,
question.
listen up. The brother has said that this is the last question. I'm going to move myself and my operation to the back of that hallway there where those things that represent things people like are available. I appreciate Larry, as a black man, having the opportunity to speak to you. One thing before this program started was I was going to feel very uncomfortable if the white media was here, because even though people disagree with your viewpoints, I would never want to speak against you in front of the white media, such that the impression would be fair. I would never want that to happen. I would never have wanted that to happen, and I'm glad that they weren't here, because we would have had a difficult time in the public dealing with the principles of black law for black people. And even though you may sometimes repudiate those things that we consider very black, as a matter of fact, you still are. And all of us, listen up now, and for those of you who use the Bible from Saul to Paul, everybody is capable of turning around themselves. Sometimes it's enhanced by pressure. So, brother, I wish you the best of luck. I listened to your listen up now. I listened to the program. I listened to your program this week. Those people in those talking drums and other organizations that have risked their life protesting what they believe your values are, went out and protested against those people who were at Disney advertising. I thought that was very fair. They choose not to talk to you. I chose to come here even against their wishes to see if we could talk about that upper crust of the media, none of which you're responsible for, which you are reflecting on, none of which you own. And again, when I opened, I said, you are a victim. And the evidence of all these years of white supremacy are reflective in your viewpoints.
Right.
Brother, one day may come. One day may come, and you may have something you may really need to tell. We're still open and available for you to relay those things to us. Just like in slavery, after a time, even some overseers had to assist the Underground Railroad that went from Alabama to Canada. So that option always remains open to you as a black man, no matter what you say. And I still suggest to whites that you tricked them today by getting all these people to come in here, Brother Coakley. I thank you, man. I really thank you. I really.
Brother Steve, you want, Brother Larry, you want a closing comment? Closing comment.
Well, Mr. Coakley, I appreciate that comment. And one day I hope that you understand that despite slavery, despite Jim Crow, despite this country's legacy of racism, blacks, when they came out of slavery, couldn't read. Within several decades, most blacks were literate. Progress has been made well before affirmative action, well before civil rights protests. Progress continues to be made, and it is easy, as Aristotle once put it, to be angry. The brother over here just quoted the Greeks. Now, when I do it, we moan. Anybody can be angry, but to be angry for the right reason, for the right purpose, in the right way, that is difficult. Thank you very much for having me.
Brothers and sisters, let's give both of our debaters a standing ovation.
Larry, you number one.
The tapes are being high-speed duplicated in the back, and they will be available for sale. Let's thank Brother Malik for putting on this forum, too.
Brother Malik!